Are you stuck living in just one or two pentatonic shapes? Maybe you know all five, but you feel confident in one or two of them. And when you solo, it sounds like the same stock licks over and over. So most guitarists only see this part of the neck, even though the whole thing is available. In this video, I'm going to show you a powerful but underused pentatonic shape, how to find it in any key, the most practical fingering, and most importantly, how to make it sound musical. This is one of the exact shapes that I've used with students for years to dramatically improve their vocabulary and their creativity. And you can grab the diagrams and the backing track for this lesson using the link down in the description below. So this week I came across a great live performance of John Mayer playing I Can't Help Myself. It's a simple groove-based song, A minor, C, F. It's the kind of progression you can easily lose yourself in. What's interesting is that for most of the solo, Mayer stays almost entirely in pentatonic shape number 3. Nothing fancy, just deep, expressive playing inside that lesser used shape. That's what we'll be focusing on today. Why most guitarists stay in shape 1. Most guitarists live in shape 1. It's usually the first one you learn, it's comfortable, your index finger stays in the same spot on every string. So if we look at A minor pentatonic shape 1, our index finger's here at the 5th fret, and everything lines up cleanly. Our index finger stayed on the 5th fret, no shifting, easy to memorize, but hard to leave. Shape 4, quick review. Shape 4 is the next most common shape of the pentatonic, and what I call the other landmark shape. To find it, you locate A on the A string, and we'll use the 12th fret here so that we can avoid open strings. Now here, your index finger stays at the 12th fret except on the B string when it moves to the 13th fret. It's one little shift, it's still very manageable, and it's why this is the second most used shape of the pentatonic. Enter shape number 3. So in that Mayer solo, he's mostly using shape number 3. Here's the easy way to find it. You just take shape number 4 and move back 2 frets. Notice how the low notes on each string of shape number 4 become the high notes on shape number 3. Once you see that relationship, the shape becomes much easier to remember. Fingering breakdown. Now let's talk about the fingering. On the lowest 3 strings, the index finger is at the 10th fret, the ring finger is at the 12th fret. Nice and simple. The G string is where people get tripped up. Here your index finger moves back to the 9th fret. And then the higher note can either be with your pinky, or you can stretch your ring finger to get that note. I use both of these depending on where I'm headed next. And then the B and high E string, your index finger goes right back to the 10th fret. So the whole shape looks like this. The key concept. The key to getting comfortable with shape number 3 is this. You have to think of it as anchored at the 10th fret. Most of the time, your index finger lives there. You only shift back 1 fret on the G string, and then immediately return back to the anchor of the 10th fret. Once your brain locks onto that anchor point, this shape stops feeling awkward. Here's what that sounds like in context. So one of the reasons that shape number 3 sounds so good is because you have 3 really good bending notes. So I have the highest note on the B string here at the 13th fret. I can bend that up 2 frets or a whole step. I can bend the G string at the 12th fret, the highest note on the G string. I can bend it up a whole step. And I can bend the highest note on the D string at the 12th fret. I can bend that up a whole step or a half step. And I usually bend the lower strings toward the ground, the higher strings toward the ceiling. And we found the root note here at the 12th fret on the A string. And I have another root note here at the 10th fret on the B string. These notes sound fantastic to end our phrases on. So the note you start on is not very important, but the note you end your phrase on is the most important note of the phrase. And if you notice, the lowest 3 strings are part of the landmark pentatonic shape number 4's diagonal extensions. So if you're familiar with my landmark pentatonic method, shape number 4 is one of the most important. It's one of the most important pentatonic shapes. I can move back 2 frets and I get these 3 strings, which are part of this shape number 3, and then I slide up 2 frets, and I'm back into shape 4, and I slide up here, adding the blues note. So now let's make it even more useful. Let's add the blues note to turn it into the A minor blues scale. Same basic shape, but a little extra color. Connecting to shape number 4. And finally, connecting shape 3 to shape 4 is seamless. Same visual landmarks, same fretboard logic. Practice strategy. So here's the part that most players skip. Limit yourself to only this shape when you play over a backing track. No shape 1 safety net, no bouncing around the neck. Stay inside the discomfort. That's where new vocabulary comes from. John Mayer did exactly that in this solo, and the results speak for themselves. And you can grab the diagrams and the backing track for this lesson using the link down in the description below. And if you want a clear overview of all 5 pentatonic shapes, check out this video next. And if you found this lesson helped you, hit like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.